Welcome to the Little Yellow Cottage. My name is Heather, and I'm going to take you on a tour of our yard today. This is our 100th video. I want to thank you all for sticking with me. I know my genre has kind of changed from crafts to house projects to cooking to kind of everything in between, and I appreciate you for staying with me. I'm just kind of taking you on a little tour of our yard. These are some pictures of what it looked like when we moved in. So there weren't many things planted. There were some phlox right there by this flagpole. And then in the backyard, there were a couple hostas and some irises here that aren't up yet. But otherwise, the yard was pretty much just planted with grass. So we decided to spruce things up. Here we are getting all of our plants at Home Depot. We're going to put roses in the very front towards the road. And then we got a bunch of other things to kind of fill in. And we're not by any means done yet. This is just kind of our first round. So we're going to start with putting these two salvia on either side of the grandkids' fairy garden. So Michael's starting to dig a hole for that. And then here's what we're going to do to the front yard. Our driveway kind of comes along the side, so we kind of call this our front yard, even though it's the side. There it is with the salvia planted on either side of the fairy garden, which we need to do yet for spring. I'm waiting for the grandkids to come. And then in the front, we've got 4 rose bushes, 2 pink and 2 of a really dark red. And so these are just going to be 3 to 4 feet tall and about 3 feet across. So we just filled this in. There are a few other old ones in there that we're going to be pulling out yet. So that's what we're doing with this area to the street. This is the side that runs parallel to the street. So this is how the other side of the door looks. We had the salvia on the fairy garden on the one end, and on this end we've got this wishing well, which was kind of a touchy subject for a while. Michael really likes the wishing well. I did not like the wishing well. We moved it from where it originally was and made this little area with the benches on either side of it. And I decided I wouldn't mind it as long as it has some plants in it. So this is our compromise. So we filled the bottom with a bunch of rock, and then he's putting in some dirt, and we're going to plant these lilies in there. I believe it's some, I'm sorry, not lilies. I believe it's some kind of daisy. And they should kind of grow where they're spilling out of it. I think it'll look really nice. Just getting a little more dirt tucked in around it. And then here's what the front looked like after we got done today. We also planted these 2 small teal pots on either side of the wishing well. And then we already had the petunia hanging basket, and we already had these 2 geranium pots on either side here. I did leave the owls and the butterfly above our numbers. Those are the only 2 house decor items I kept because the house was covered when we got them. There's the salvia. We'd like to put some kind of a bush or small tree on the corner there. And then here's the roses. I didn't get a really good shot because I got preoccupied with that rock that got left in the yard. So we got to get that out of there yet. So then if you come through to the patio, it'll take you into the backyard. So here's some of our patio plants. And then in the backyard, this is what came up. The hostas here and some irises. Got a few spots of patchy grass that we need to fill in. I don't believe in putting chemicals on a yard personally, to each their own, but our yard hasn't had any dandelions, so he must have sprayed previously, the previous owner. So through here is our little garden Michael put in. Just have a few things planted. And here he filled in that area along the garage with 2 more hostas. Just to kind of get that all filled in along there. And then here we got this arbor from my mom, or it's a trellis, I guess, not an arbor. And he's going to put it here up against this end of the clothesline. And we're going to put a clematis there. He's putting some rebar in to hold it in place. And I'll give you a tour of the finished backyard. We didn't do a whole lot back there today. This table doesn't usually go here in the middle. It comes down more towards the side. We hadn't moved while we were planting, but there's the hostas and there's the clematis. Hopefully it takes off well on the trellis. Benny's really enjoying our yard and having more space to run around. And here's what our backyard looks like. We've got just to the fence there, so we don't have a huge backyard, but it's perfect for Benny. And that's our yard tour. We'll post updates as we can. Thanks for watching and come back and visit us another time. Bye.